Canada's ruling Liberal Party has been quietly removing several Indian origin politicians from its list of candidates. And the reason seems to be linked to Khalistani politics. Just like Chandra Arya, who was recently denied a chance to run again despite being a very well-known member of parliament, other Indian origin politicians who oppose Khalistani extremism are also being pushed out. Now this raises a big question. Is the Liberal Party more focused on keeping its pro-Khalistani voters really happy instead of allowing Indian origin politicians who support India to stay in power? It looks like the Liberals are afraid that if they allow too many anti-Khalistani voices in their party, they might lose votes, specifically in areas like Ontario and British Columbia, where pro-Khalistan groups have a lot of influence. The Khalistan movement is a separatist movement that wants to create a separate sixth state from India called Khalistan. Over the years, pro-Khalistan groups in Canada have gained strong political influence and their votes have helped Liberal Party win elections. Without their support, Liberals could struggle to stay in power, specifically with Conservative Party getting very strong. Because of this, the Liberal Party sees Indian origin politicians who oppose Khalistan as a problem, so they quietly remove them from important positions. A good example of this is Chandra Arya. Even though he is a respected MP, he was suddenly denied a Liberal Party ticket to run in the next elections. After that, the party didn't give a clear reason, but many experts believe that it's because he spoke against pro-Khalistan activities in Canada. Since this upset some of the Liberal Party's pro-Khalistani supporters, the party pushed him out. This shows that Liberals are willing to sacrifice Indian origin politicians just to keep their pro-Khalistani voter base happy. But Chandra Arya is not the only one. Other Indian origin politicians who speak against Khalistan or support a good relationship with India have faced similar treatment. Raj Grewal, a former Liberal MP, had to leave his position under very controversial circumstances. And many believe that it was partly because of his pro-India views. Deepak Anand, an Ontario MPP, also faced pressure within the party because he did not support Khalistan. Even Harjit Sajjan, Canada's former defense minister, has often been criticized by pro-Khalistani groups for not fully supporting their cause. All these cases show that in Canadian politics, if an Indian origin politician does not support the Khalistan agenda, they can be removed from the power. Now, this is a serious issue. Liberal Party depends on a lot of Sikh voters, specifically in cities like Brampton, Surrey, and Mississauga, where Khalistani groups have a strong presence. The Sikh community in Canada is only 2% of the population, but they have a lot of political influence in key election areas. In fact, if a Liberal loses the support of pro-Khalistani voters, the party could lose many seats to the Conservative Party or the NDP. Now, this is why Liberals cannot afford to upset Khalistani groups. They are an important vote bank that could decide the next elections. Now, from an India's point of view, this is very worrying. The way Indian origin politicians who oppose Khalistan are being removed from the Canadian politics shows that Canada is becoming even more of a safe place for anti-India groups. India has often said that Canada allows Khalistani elements to operate freely, and now with pro-India voices being silenced, the situation looks even worse. This could damage India-Canada relationship further, making it very hard for both the nations to work together on trade, security, and diplomacy. The government has already been criticized by Indian officials for being too soft on Khalistani groups, and this will only make things worse. But the situation might actually help the Conservative Party of Canada. Many Indian origin voters, specifically Hindus and moderate Sikh, are unhappy with how the Liberal Party is supporting Khalistan. Adding to this, the NPO Poliver's Conservative Party has been very critical of ex-Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's soft stance on extremism, presenting itself as a pro-India alternative. Now, if this pattern continues, many Indian origin voters might switch to Conservatives, which could actually lead to Liberals losing the next elections. The big question now is, Will Indian origin voters see what's happening and hold the Liberal Party accountable? The removal of Chandra Arya and others is not just about few politicians. It shows that Liberals are making political deals to keep power, even if it means pushing out Indian origin leaders. But if Indian origin voters understand this and start supporting other parties, then Liberal Party might finally face the consequences of its actions.